To know. Who was Confucius? Confucius was one of China's most famous philosopher, teacher, and political theorist in the late spring and autumn periods of ancient China. He was born in the state of Lu in 551 BC. His real name was Kong Qui, and he is called Kongzi in China, which means Master Kong. His father name was Kongzi, who was a soldier and an officer in the Lu state military. Kong Qui also had another son, named Pai, with his first wife Lady Shi. However, as Kong Pai's mother was a concubine, and Pai himself was said to have deformities in his feet, he could not become his father's successor. So Kong Qui divorced his first wife at an advanced age, because she had given birth to only daughters and one disfigured son. Thus, Kong Qui was heirless. He then married a 15-year-old girl from the Yan clan, who gave birth to Confucius. Kong Qui died when Confucius was 3 years old, leaving Confucius's young mother without any support. The rest of his childhood was spent in poverty, as he was raised by his mother, Yan's Henze. In the interests of her son's education, Yan's Henze decided to move back to her home city, Ludu. Ludu at the time was the capital city of Lu State, and the national center of politics, economics, and culture. She thought that it would provide the best educational environment for her young son. Yan's Henze understood that the way to get the best out of a student was to foster and ignite the student's own interests. Whenever a ritual was taking place, Yan's Henze always encouraged her son to observe the ceremony. As a result, little Confucius enjoyed imitating the rituals. Yan's Henze also made her son learn various zhou rites in order to assist the monarch in ruling the country. As a result, Confucius developed an appreciation of rituals from a young age. Yan's Henze's father was a scholar of Lu State and played the role of her mentor and teacher. Yan's Henze gave lessons to 5 young pupils in her own home and used the proceeds from the lessons to support her and her son. Yan's Henze taught not only Chinese language, but arithmetic, chanting, rituals, and ceremony. Little Confucius joined his mother's classes before the age of 6 and had learned all of the lessons by the time he was 10. The teaching career of his mother brought an enormous influence to Confucius's ideals of education. When Confucius was 10 years old, his mother sent him to the best school in town. There, he studied poetry, classical literature, and history. Yan's Henze died at around 35 years of age, when Confucius was 17. At the age of 19, he married Kigwen, and a year later, the couple had their first child, Kong Li. Confucius' family was part of a growing middle class of people in China called Shi. They weren't part of the nobility, but were considered above the common peasants. This gave him a different outlook on life than the majority of people. He thought that people should be promoted and rewarded based on their talents, not on what family they were born into. Confucius didn't start out as a wise teacher. He worked a number of normal jobs first. They included being a shepherd and a clerk. Eventually, Confucius came to work for the government. He started out as the governor of a small town and worked his way up until he became an advisor at the top levels of government. After mastering ancient arts, Confucius became a brilliant teacher who passed on his knowledge to improve society. Confucius developed his own philosophy, which he taught to others. He wanted to make education available to anyone willing to learn, and he believed every individual could benefit from self-cultivation. A typical idea of the Confucian heritage is that human beings are malleable. They can always improve and perfect themselves if they try hard enough. Confucius quit his government job at the age of 51. He was disappointed that the leaders were not following his teachings. He then traveled throughout China for many years, teaching his philosophy. Some of his followers wrote down his ideas in a book that would later be called the Analects of Confucius. Driven by his passion, Confucius' intention was to awaken the people, and he tirelessly tried to do it, until the day he died. Confucius died in 479 BC, of natural causes. He spent his last few years in his hometown of Pufu, teaching his disciples. His ideas didn't become popular until years after his death, when they became the basic philosophy of the Chinese culture for over 2,000 years. Developed from Confucius' teachings, Confucianism is a philosophy often followed as a religion by the Chinese, with particular emphasis on the importance of the family and social harmony. It's a way of life. These ideas inspired East Asian culture and still have a lasting impact on the world. Today, his philosophy is known as Confucianism. Here are some of the basic ideas of Confucianism. Treat others kindly. Have good manners and follow daily rituals. A man should have good morals and ethics. Family was important and ancestors were to be respected. A true man had the qualities of integrity, righteousness, altruism, goodness, and loyalty. One should practice moderation in all things. Confucius' teachings became the state philosophy of China during the Han Dynasty. His teachings were the basis of the government civil service exams. The government liked Confucianism because it taught to respect authority and that a strong central government was important. Confucius' teachings remained an important part of Chinese culture and government up until the 20th century. Here are some Confucius quotes that will increase your thirst for knowledge and help you see things from a more realistic perspective. 1. The man who asks a question is a fool for a minute. The man who does not ask is a fool for life. 2. Everything has beauty, but not everyone sees it. 3. It doesn't matter how slowly you go, as long as you do not stop. 4. Our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. 5. It is easy to hate, and it is difficult to love. This is how the whole scheme of things works. All good things are difficult to achieve, and bad things are very easy to get. 6. Respect yourself, and others will respect you. 7. If you make a mistake and do not correct it, this is called a mistake. 8. By 3 methods, we may learn wisdom. First, by reflection, which is noblest. Second, by imitation, which is easiest. And third, by experience, which is the bitterest. 9. The man who moves a mountain begins by carrying away small stones. 10. Life is really simple, but we insist on making it complicated. 11. What the superior man seeks is in himself, what the small man seeks is in others. 12. What you do not want done to yourself, do not do to others. 13. The journey with 1,000 miles begins with 1 step. 14. Worry not that no one knows you. Seek to be worth knowing. 15. When it is obvious that the goals cannot be reached, don't adjust the goals, adjust the action steps. 16. Be not ashamed of mistakes, and thus make them crimes. 17. Think of tomorrow, the past can't be mended. 18. The superior man acts before he speaks, and afterwards speaks, according to his action. 19. Success depends upon previous preparation, and without such preparation, there is sure to be failure. 20. The superior man makes the difficulty to be overcome his first interest, success only comes later. 21. When anger rises, think of the consequences. 22. When you have faults, do not fear to abandon them. 23. The will to win, the desire to succeed, the urge to reach your full potential. These are the keys that will unlock the door to personal excellence. 24. I hear, and I forget. I see, and I remember. I do, and I understand. 25. Choose a job you love, and you will never have to work a day in your life. Confucius is widely considered as one of the most important and influential individuals in human history. His teaching and philosophy greatly impacted people around the world and remain influential today. Thanks for watching the video. For more update to my new videos, press the bell icon, and please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe to support my channel. Thank you.